Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Catch, and I am back for the hashtag nuttinbutneutrals challenge. This challenge is hosted by Tammy at Lufurfur Studio. If you put in this tagline, it'll go to her YouTube channel, or you can just put in hashtag nuttinbutneutrals. Then all the people that are participating will pop up, and her channel as well, if you need more information. Each week she chooses a base. For example, last week she chose guest check, and so I made 2 pieces, both out of guest checks, for the challenge. And the idea is that you only use neutral items to decorate with, so brown, black, white, or gray, and you can use any tone of those colors. And yeah, so I have my witches here, and it's all very neutral. And of course, she mentioned last week that there is a little bit of color in guest checks generally, because there are a lot of times, like this one's a little green. They can be pink or blue or whatever, and plus there's the red, so that's not a neutral. But she was like, that's fine, because she kind of oopsed with it and just didn't think about the other colors that were on there. But if you're just decorating with the neutrals, you're still following the challenge words. Okay, so this week she has chosen a paper bag, and so I made my own little paper bag. You can of course use any kind of paper bag of your choosing. I just thought it would be fun, since I have a ton of this packaging from Amazon, to make a paper bag. And I only did 1 thickness, but I was thinking it wouldn't hurt probably to do 2 thicknesses. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's bad, especially if you decorate the front and you glue it down to the page. I don't think you're going to have a problem with it. So totally your choice. And this is not a hard thing to make. I will show you how I made mine. My piece of brown paper bag is 6 by 12, but you can do any size you want. So don't feel like, oh, you know, I don't have that size or whatever. Just make them whatever size you want. They're just kind of fun. And of course, you can just always use any paper bag you already have. I just thought it would be fun to make one. So that's what I'm going to do. I want to say hugs and blessings to Heidi, Karen, and Megan. Love you guys, and thank you so much for commenting. I really, really appreciate it. Any activity on the channel helps my channel, so I thank you if you do that. So I'm basically just folding it and leaving some up at the top, and it doesn't matter how much you leave at the top. You can do it any way you want. And then I'm just going to fold the sides over. This is really very similar to like making a, what do you call those things? Coin envelope. As far as, it's a little bit different fold, but you're basically doing the same concept. And you can make them any thickness you want, width, height, all of that. So that's what I'm doing. Just winging it for that. So then see, we get that sort of shape, and I think, yeah, they're pretty close in size to each other. And then what we're going to do is cut off this strip back here to this fold, because we don't need it. It's just extra bulk that is not necessary. And I need to also say welcome to new subscribers, and of course welcome back to those of you who have followed me for either a long time or a short time. I appreciate all of you very much. So yeah, just been busy the last few days trying to get the grunge collab with Carol Laws off and running. I was really behind on getting started on that, but I do like the way those papers turned out. I wasn't super happy with the dye process at first, but I think it does work pretty good. You just have to be super careful when you're opening them up, and don't, if you do that process where you crumple the paper when it's wet, don't crumple it too tight, because when you unfold them, it does a lot of ripping if they're too tight. If they're not as tight, you might get a little ripping, but not as bad. So it's just something to think about. And I would probably do it a little bit different if I did it again. And I might try it with the dry paper, the paper being dry at first, because that might be better. And that's, I think that's how the lady did it that I watched, and I can't think of her name right now, but I did link her channel in my the box of the video that I did, the description box. So check her out, because she, I think, did a better job than I did of it. So I'm just winging how I'm going to cut this. And you don't even have to do this part. You can leave it straight. You can round the corners. There's a lot of things that you could do to, you know, I just always think of paper bags when I think of, you know, that kind of ruffly edge on them. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. And it's usually on this part right here, but I don't think I want to do that because the tag gets all caught up. You know, if you've ever used an actual paper bag that has the ruffly part on that part too, it gets caught up all the time, and I didn't want that. So, and this is exaggerated too, but I just like it. This stuff doesn't cut great, but we're going to attempt to put a notch. You can put another piece of paper with it to make it thicker, and then it does cut better, which I'm going to have to do because that is just not, it doesn't want to when the paper's thin. The punches are so persnickety. Do you notice that with yours? They are a finicky bunch. Still probably gonna mess it up. Yep. But then you can usually come in and fix it. They only really like cardstock, truly, if you want to be truthful about it. If it's any thinner than that, forget it. All right, so I'm going to decorate, not this one, but I'm going to decorate this one just because I'm going to do a little bit of stitching. And so I don't want to close it up until after I do the stitching. So that's what we're going to do. But first we're going to ink it, and I'm going to use my Scorched Timber. This might go, it's either going to go in a grungy journal or a Halloween journal. I haven't decided yet. But what I'm using would work in either one, so I'm not real worried about that. And of course, you don't have to make it grungy at all. You could make it lacy and pretty if that's more your style. And still use neutrals, because you could do, you know, cream laces and white laces and all that. And it would be very pretty. We're going to use lace on this too, which is going to be gray lace and black lace. So what you guys been up to? Anything fun and exciting? Hopefully you're enjoying your summer. Our blue sky is back for today, so that is a happy day. I went for a walk. That always puts me in a better frame of mind. Did not do that yesterday, and you could probably tell. My crankiness was out. Reminds me of, what do you call it, Toy Story, when Mrs. Potato Head is like, don't forget your angry eyes. Yeah, it was that kind of day yesterday. I had my angry eyes on. My angry eyes. I think I might stamp that background just a little bit. Might be fun. I think I'll use my big this stamp, just because it's nice and big script. So I should be able to get most of the bag in one fail swoop. And this is a 20-plus-year-old Stampin' Up! Stamp, so I took the wood block off of it, but you can use any script, Tim Holtz script, whatever. Whatever you like. Let's see if I can actually do this without dropping it or messing it up. I think I'll just go right to there. Yeah, and then I'll do the top. Unfold it so I don't, because otherwise I'll double, I will double stamp it. Because I'm that talented. All right. There we go. I did get a little double stamped right there, but that's fine. Okay, then we're going to take some, I'm going to use this, which is one of those fabric transfers that we did together when we did the Somerset Studio magazine. And I'll try to remember to link that video in case you want to see, but there are people that are better at this transfer thing than I am. I got lucky with a few. But yeah, so it definitely, you can't do it once and think I didn't get it, I can't get it. Because I did like 5 that turned out perfect. And then I did the video and I rubbed off too much. So it's just a real trial and error thing. You just got to kind of play with it and try to figure out, you know, how to make it work. Sorry, I had all the little pieces here that I was going to use, and all I can find is her. Well, I guess we'll... Oh, they're underneath, Amy. You even inked this. That's how my brain is, you guys. That's how scary my brain is. It's totally dingy. Completely dingy. This is a piece of my Gothic Gray kit, and this lady is actually in the Gothic Gray kit as well. But if you go watch that video that I did, the Somerset Studio magazine video, because the idea was in that, is where I got the idea, was in there. But I can't think of what I was saying. Oh, there's freebies of ladies, so you don't, if you don't have this one, I did put out a freebie for that, and you can use those ladies instead if you like, or of course you may have your own already. Wow, brain. Okay, so I'm very excited about the grungy thing because I love working with Carol. I have a whole bunch of grungy digitals, and we joke that even though we don't talk about it, we end up picking a lot of the same stuff when we make journals and doing similar projects, even though we don't talk about it. So it's always interesting to see that we did end up picking some of the same papers, even though there's lots of kits. But yeah, it's funny. And then there's other stuff we're just vastly different on, so it's fun. I like doing projects with her, with anybody really. I mean, it's always interesting to see how other people use my kits, especially. Like, I love seeing what Mitzi at 307 Junk Journals does, and Nancy Pitter and Linda, my friend Linda. So it's just fun to see what other people do with the kits. All right, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna put a piece of this lace. Do I want it to there? I don't think I want it over that far. I think I'm just gonna put it like here. And this is where I was thinking of sewing. So I'll open up my bag and stitch down these. It just holds them on better. I don't want this so square, I think is what the issue is. So I just quickly do sloppy cut on it. So you don't get that straight, flat cut. To cut a little more. It's got a fold right there. It's annoying. So yeah, had a nice walk. It was already pretty toasty when I went. It was already 70 degrees, and that was pretty early. But just got to get all the stuff done in the morning early. It's the best you can do. Okay, that looks good. It's a little rough. I'm gonna put this on with tacky glue. Well, if I don't knock everything down, I will do that. We did get rain yesterday afternoon. My daughter and I were sitting in here because she had an eye doctor's appointment, so she stopped by afterwards. And all of a sudden the thunder's booming out there. It was like, whoa, where'd that come from? Didn't last though, just dumped some rain and left real quick. Real fast. It's like, was it even here? Did that even happen? I think it goes this way. So I'm gonna use my glue stick for now because I'm just kind of wanting to tack it, and I'm not pressing on the glue stick when I put it on the lace. I'm just very lightly skimming it, because if you press, it'll come through every little hole, and that will probably make you unhappy as it does me. I like this challenge though. I think it's super fun because I do use a lot of neutrals, but I usually use some kind of colors with them. So sometimes it's fun just to see how stuff looks. And I do like the way it looks when you just use the neutrals. Just something different. Oh, you know what? I didn't think of anything to make for the pocket. Well, I'm going to pause and I'm going to stitch. So I'll try to think of something to put in the pocket. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back and I stitched on my bag. Very janky as always. And now I'm going to close up my bag. And I took another piece, a doubled piece of the same brown paper, and cut like a journaling card, or tore actually a journaling card. I was just saying to you guys we have blue sky today, literally half an hour ago, before I stopped the video. And just within this very short amount of time, all the smoke has descended in again. I know that it's getting closer, but it's kind of crazy how fast it came in when it was so beautiful this morning. So I hope that doesn't mean it's gotten worse or something. Crazy. All right, so this is my, I'm gonna actually turn it into a tag, but it's just two pieces of that same brown paper together. And it does get all wrinkly, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, you could try to make it all nice and flat, but it's kind of hard. because it usually is in a big enough piece that it's hard to manage. I guess you could cut smaller pieces and glue them together, but alright, so I'll put that on. Is it? No, it's fine, it fits. And then Sandra was lovely and sent me a really cool math book. Thank you, Sandra. Super nice of you. Super kind. Do I want that or a wider piece? I might need a little bit wider piece. So let's take this. Actually, maybe I want to, sorry. If I could ever make up my mind, I know it would be fantastic. I don't want it such an even tear on it. I will use that for something, undoubtedly. I'm going to take this off, which will also get used for something. Yeah, it's crazy. I just looked out the window and it's all that weird orange yellow light, that really strange, you know how it does when there's a fire. If you're lucky enough not to know, then you're very lucky. If you've ever lived out west, definitely you know what I'm talking about. Or anywhere there's pine and sage and all those things. Dry grasses. I like the white of it a little bit, but I want it just a little knocked down a little bit there. I was going to use a picture of this gentleman I had, but then it had a red frame and like blue scrolling. Why can't I talk today? Around it, so I was like, oh yeah, that won't work. That won't work at all. It does get your thinker going. I'll go this way. I know they did. They were evacuating some areas this morning. We're luckily, or unluckily, I'm not sure, but more like in town, I guess you would say, in a rural area. So, we're okay for now. Hopefully it'll stay that way. But it's scary for the people that have any land, like any amount of land, because it's such open plant-filled areas. That, and then I think we'll use this. This is from my Cruciform. I just went digging through my scraps of stuff. Cruciform digital download. It's all like cathedrals and churches and stuff. Architectural. But it fits well with her, I feel like. And I think I'll use one of my my dried flowers laser cuts. They're a little tricky, so if you do get these, just be patient when you're pulling them apart, because if you just yank, I mean, they fall apart pretty, you know, come apart pretty easy. You just don't want to yank, because you'll pull branches and stuff off, because they are fragile. And the other side. Maybe I don't want one of these. I could do it kind of cattywampus like that, maybe. I do like that. I think I'll do that. I need to cut some more. I only cut myself one page, so. All right, so if I have it about here, like so, I'll just trim off that a little bit. And I'll use my art glitter glue. Yeah, a lot of times people ask what glue to use, and I feel like, I mean, I'll always say this is art glitter glue, and then I use the Scotch permanent glue stick. But I feel like you gotta kind of find what kind of glue you like, because everybody likes something different. It's just one of those. I mean, these work great for me, but they might not work great for somebody else. It's just one of those things. But it's a good place to start and see if you like them. Watched the Olympics again last night. I do like the Olympics a lot. It's just very inspiring, you know? Those people work so hard all their lives to be the best they can at what they do, and it's just kind of, it's cool. Okay, so that is what I have for, and I'll probably stitch around that too, but that's all I'll do. Put maybe a little piece of that black lace up at the top. That is what I have for the nuttinbutneutrals paper bag. And then you can just glue that down onto a journal page. You could leave it as a tuck, but I think I would glue it down completely just because it's kind of a thin bag. But yeah, you do you, boo. All right, guys, I will see you again soon. I love ya. Bye.